What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Happy Tuesday. And we're moving on to a new position today, and it's going to be a pretty stacked position in terms of projected top guys. It's not necessarily going to be a stacked position in terms of interest for the Seahawks. I will admit that. Left tackle. We're doing left tackle today. Before I start talking about the nuances of this particular class of left tackles, I want to remind everybody that I'm going to be doing a stream with the Hawk's Nest in just a few hours here. We're going to go live at about noon, and we're going to be talking about edge rushers, which is something that I've familiarized myself with quite a bit over the last couple of days. Me and him are going to cook it up. Me and him are going to try to figure out who we like, who we don't like, who we think the Seahawks might want to go after. And we're going to be doing one show a day for the next 4 days. We're going to have 4 straight days of shows covering different positions for this draft. It's the only way we're going to get through everything quick enough. So definitely try to tune in. If you can't tune in live, watch the VOD. And yeah, we're going to chop it up and figure this out. And hopefully by the end of all this, we'll have a really, really good idea of who we want the Seahawks to take and maybe some of the players we don't want them to take so much. So yeah, next 4 days, show goes live at about noon, both of our channels. Okay, so left tackle on the surface, we're okay, right? We've got Charles Cross, who I still think will be extended at some point. Maybe not this offseason. Maybe we're going to go ahead and pull the reins on that a little bit because we do have that 5th-year option that we can utilize. Maybe we go ahead and deploy that. Maybe we just figure let's let him prove it for one more year. I would like to extend him, but either way, even if we don't, I imagine there will be intent to keep him around beyond the next couple of years. And we don't have a long-term backup, but we did sign Josh Jones in the offseason, and he's, a swing tackle. So you have that. You have Mike Jarrell even. He might be a left tackle. Jarrell might end up working out as a left tackle. But I definitely want to draw people's attention to this collection of talent simply because some of these guys, maybe a lot of these guys, have the ability to slide inside to guard. So what you might see is this team take one of these prospects and have them play guard for a year, and maybe they stay at guard permanently and they end up being really, really awesome left guards. Or maybe they kick out to tackle after a year or two if Abe Lucas leaves, or if Charles Cross does leave. Maybe that gives you a cheap and good alternative to giving Charles Cross that massive contract that I would be fine giving him, but maybe the team isn't going to do it at this time. So, with that being said, let's dive in, starting with the top left tackle prospect on the board right now, Will Campbell of LSU. He's been the top dog here for a while now. 21 years old, and he's a physical specimen for sure. He's got the height. He's almost 6'6", 320 pounds. Right away, though, you're going to notice something here. He's got kind of short arms. His arms are short for tackle work, 32 and 5/8. Pretty forgettable. The testing was really good, though. Sub 540, 176 10-yard split, explosive, very explosive jumps. So he can move. He's somebody that has a lot of potential. Most of the big boards have him going in the top 10, but a couple have him creeping out of the top 10. And it's no longer completely unrealistic for Will Campbell to be there when the Seahawks pick. ESPN has him 19th on their big board. Now, the aggregate has him at 7th. I will concede it is still a long shot. But there is some concern with Will Campbell, and I think that concern is actually pretty valid. So let's take a look at him as a prospect. Let's talk this through. Pros with him would be good lateral footwork. His lateral footwork's on point. His slide, his shuffle is good. He's able to move smoothly and cleanly laterally. He's effective pulling up to the second level and throwing blocks on smaller players. He's going to be able to do those second level blocks, no problem, I think. He's got the agility for it and he's got the skill for it. He's a really good athlete for his size. In some ways, I kind of feel like maybe he could be even better as a zone blocker than he already is. He's tall, but he understands how to get low to win leverage. He understands how to bend at the knees and win engagements by getting low. He's got good firm punches. His punches land with authority. His punches land with good power. He's able to utilize them to really stun the opposing pass rusher. He's got a firm latch. Even though he has small hands, his latch is firm and it's hard to break. And he's got the aggressiveness that you look for in an offensive lineman. He really wants to just put his opponents in the dirt. He really wants to finish strongly. And that's certainly a trait that you need in an offensive lineman. Now, that's a pretty good list of positives with Will Campbell. I will admit the list of things that you're a little concerned about is a little bit longer than I would like for a left tackle you're taking in the top 10, hypothetically. He is still a little on the taller side. You're talking about an almost 6'6" tackle that can create problems, and it might create even more problems if you're thinking about sliding him inside. Remember, I already talked about his arm length, but this might create some urgency for him to want to play inside. And at 6'6", you can do it, but you're starting to push it. His margin for error is small because of his short arm length. He really has to time his punches well. He really has to get his hand placement down perfectly because there are going to be a lot of defenders out there that are just longer than him and able to get in on him because of it. He doesn't have a tremendous anchor. I feel like he gets bull rushed more than you would expect for a top tackle prospect. Not a great anchor. He can get off balance when trying to land blocks at times. He can be somebody who kind of, leans forward into contact, and that leaves him susceptible to, stunts. So that's something he's going to have to pick up over time. And sometimes he oversets. He can overset outside when he's trying to keep up with an edge rusher. And if the rusher goes with an inside move, he often gets the leg up because he overset to the outside. So there are some concerns here that you wouldn't necessarily expect with a player of this high of a profile. So I find him to be surprisingly flawed. I think there is still immense potential there, and I'm not taking anything away from that. I think he could be a really, really special player in this league. But I can also see a lot of the ways that he washes out. Like he could be, oh, he's too tall. Oh, his arms are a little too short. Oh, he's not powerful enough. He doesn't anchor well enough. Hopefully that's something that can be fixed a little bit. I just see a few ways this cannot work out. I think that a move to guard is a realistic possibility. He does know how to bend at the knees, so I think his height isn't as big a concern as I would have with some other players. But I'm not totally convinced this is actually a left tackle. And while I highly value left guards, they're not as valuable as left tackles. Left tackle is the most important position on the offensive line. They're going to be more valuable than a left guard. That's just how it works. So if that's the case, you have to dock him a little bit. So I think he's worthy of a top 20 pick, but I don't know. I couldn't get into this one the way that I was thinking I was going to. I ended up kind of feeling like, yeah, he's top 20. I'm not convinced he's top 15, and I don't think he's top 10. We'll see exactly where I end up putting him on my big board when all is said, but I kind of came away feeling like there's got to be a better tackle prospect in this draft, right? And there may be, but if this is the best left tackle, then I kind of feel like it's a pretty good draft class to not need a left tackle, so that's cool. But yeah, I don't know. I was left a little bit cold by this. I'm not trying to say there's anything super negative here. He's still a phenomenal athlete. He still has room to get better, but I just noticed some problems that I wasn't expecting to notice from a guy who some people say should be a top 5 pick in what looks like a pretty overall decent NFL draft. Okay, one more guy for this video. It's Kelvin Banks. He's the other top guy in this draft. Texas Longhorn, 21 years old. Another bigger guy, not quite as tall, 6'5" and an eighth, 315 pounds. Little longer arms, 33.5 inches is adequate, 48th percentile for a tackle. Big hands as well. Didn't test as well as Campbell, but he tested well. Above average 40, average 10-yard split. So we're not dealing with an athletic phenom here, but he was pretty explosive with his jumps. Change of direction is okay. So you're not really looking for an elite physical athletic specimen here so much, but it's still not bad. Every big board has him in the first round. I think everyone has him in the top 21, actually. Aggregate has him 13th. Again, there's been a little bit of slippage here for, I think, in part the same reason. I think that people are starting to be worried about Kelvin Banks' ability to play tackle in the NFL. They're starting to look at him and they're wondering, is this guy better off going to guard? He doesn't have super long arms, and his style of play might be a little bit better suited to guard, at least at first. The numbers are good. I mean, the numbers have been good for him. He's allowed 2 sacks combined over the last 2 years and only 3 quarterback hits, which is remarkable. Racked up a decent number of penalties, I guess, but not terrible there either. So, definitely had a good career at Texas. Positives would be he's another guy who understands leverage. He knows how to create leverage wins by getting low into contact. He's got enough movement skills to hit his blocks in space. If you put him in space, it's not going to be amazing. He's not Jason Kelsey out there, but he's good. He can get it done. I think he'll be fine in a zone-based scheme, even if maybe not stellar. He's got a good mirror. He's got lateral agility to keep up with speed. He doesn't, and I feel like he does a fairly good job against of not oversetting. So I think his mirror is pretty clean. His ability to like slide and shuffle with the rushers. He's a skilled puncher as well. He knows how to use his punches. And he's got great drive to maul in the run game. That is his strength right now as a player. He's a good run blocker. He can drive block players out of holes. He can absolutely maul players when asked to hit run blocks. So that is what you're getting out of the box in Kelvin Banks. He is ready to knock some heads as a run blocker. Now, some of the concerns you have with Kelvin Banks would be on the other side of it. Power does get to him a little bit. He's not weak, like I just said. He's a very good run blocker. He's very powerful there, but I feel like power rushers kind of get into his chest a little bit and can push him back and can drive him back and collapse the pocket. So right now he doesn't have great ability to handle the power rushers, and his hand placement is a little bit lackluster. That's going to have to improve and will offset that. So that the good news is that's totally fixable, I think. He's certainly a candidate to end up playing guard. I'm not saying he will play guard, but 33.5-inch arms doesn't guarantee anything. And there are a couple of fundamental issues with him, like his hand placement, that make me wonder if he'll be better inside. It's possible. And sometimes I feel like he doesn't set wide enough against speed rushers. He doesn't overset, but sometimes he undersets a little bit. So that is one way speed rushers can get to him a little bit. So it's not perfect with Kelvin Banks, for sure. But still really good prospect. I think he'll be a destructive run blocker. I think he has the potential to be great at left tackle, but there are definitely people out there that view him as a guard. And it really just depends. Can he improve his hand placement? Can he improve his ability to take on certain roles and responsibilities of a tackle, like they're more likely to be asked to play in space? How does he take to that in the NFL? I'd like to see him show the ability to set wider against speed rushers without oversetting. If he could tweak that a little bit, I'd feel a little bit better about his future as a tackle. So I kind of feel the same way about him as I do about Campbell. Not for the exact same reasons, but I think he's top 20. I'm not totally convinced he's top 15, and I don't think he's top 10. I think there are flaws here that keep him out of that range for me. He's good. I would love to have him. I could... and by the way, there is a real... as you can see on the big boards, the only one that has him in the top 10 right now is CBS, and a lot of them have him at or below 16. There is a real possibility he's there at 18 at this point, and it is because I think people are starting to ask questions about where he's going to play in the NFL. All right, so that's my take on Kelvin Banks. It's going to be a light day today on the draft evaluations, by the way. I'm going to do this video, and then I'm going to do one video that goes up after my stream with the Hawks Nest later this afternoon. That's going to be it, just 2 videos and out today, and we'll finish up the left tackles tomorrow. And yeah, these were the cream of the crop guys. These are your top 15 guys. I don't know if I'd put either in the top 20, top 15 personally, but that's where they are currently ranked to go. So let me know what you guys think of these two. I couldn't fall in love with either. I didn't see that top 10 potential there. I just didn't. I didn't love them the way that, you know, there have been left tackle prospects in recent memory that just stand out to you as that ironclad, no doubt about it, home run, franchise left tackle. I didn't feel that way about either of these guys. All right. See you guys later. Go Hawks. Another video coming later. Stream in a few hours. Be there. And yeah, we're going through the tackles now. So getting closer to finishing up the offensive line.